Hi everyone, Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about lust versus love. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this one is because my last couple videos have been kind of a drag talking about health and stuff. By the way, I'm still sick, but this too shall pass. I'm gonna talk about a fun little story about how me and my husband met. So, first, I'm going to read a couple things that doctors have said about lust versus love. So, um, from a website online, wellandgood.com, there's a little quote from experts and Dr. Henry. So, one quote was lust is about a physical or sexual attraction where love might be encompass lust, but is more emotional and is actually caring for love is more emotional and is actually caring for the other person. And quote, lust and love each both fade over time if they are not nurtured, Dr. Henry says. So, and love is reality, lust is fantasy. So, basically, you'll know if you're not in love with somebody if all you're wanting from them is just sex and the way the person looks. If you're obsessed with the way they dress, the color of their eyes, all of that, but you have nothing really to talk about, then that's more of a lust thing, not a love thing. Now, I'm not saying that the person that you need to go and get is ugly or anything like that, but essentially you'll care more about the way they treat you, how much they're there for you, the stuff that you guys have in common and can laugh about and stuff like that more than what they look like. It's always a bonus to get somebody who's attractive like my husband is, but that it doesn't always work that way, and that's fine. I personally rather have somebody that cares about me and treats me good and stuff like that than somebody who looks good but treats me really bad, or looks good and I can just have sex with them and then we have nothing else after sexual attraction. That's my personal opinion. Now I'm going to read a little bit more stuff that I found on the web. So, number one, lust is driven physical connection. Love is an emotional connection. Lust happens when you don't have anything to talk about but have great sex, which I already said that. Love happens when you love someone for more than just their looks. I talked about that too. And love grows stronger and lust becomes weaker. So over time, if you're just building your foundation on lust, it'll get knocked down because it's not a strong foundation. Whereas love, you have so much there besides just sex and looks, that, or whatever else it is you're obsessed with. You'll have more than that to build your foundation on. So, if you have love, your sex is going to become greater. If you have love, then you'll have more conversations to talk about. If you have love, um, you'll have someone who's there for you through thick and thin, sickness and health and all of that. If you're not in love, you'll be able to tell because once you're sick, and you can't give that person what they want, they'll be gone. If someone's trying to benefit from you, it's not love. If somebody sacrifices things for you and stuff like that, that's just an example, then that's love, because love is work, and it's being there no matter what. So that's how I know me and my husband have true love. So here's my funny story about me and him. We liked each other in high school. and we were friends and stuff like that throughout middle school, and we liked each other. We hung out with the same people and stuff like that, but we didn't date or anything like that. He thought I was pretty. I had a crush on him, and he didn't know that. So we always like to talk about how we're like Arnold and Helga. It's a Nickelodeon cartoon that was on when we were younger. And no, I do not own any copyrights on that show. I'm just mentioning it because it correlates with our little story. So I'm like the kind of ugly, you know, uh, not so popular type girl. Jason was always a real handsome ladies' man guy, bright blue eyes, straight white teeth, tall, and just handsome. I mean, I crushed on him, and I lust for him because I wanted to be with him, and I didn't really care, if he liked me or not. But of course, I didn't let him use me, or we never did anything or dated in middle school or high school, but we were friends. So he didn't know the whole time that I had a crush on him. And then suddenly, when we got older, we reunited through Facebook. I don't own any copyrights to Facebook either, just mentioning it because our story. And he said, "Do you want to go fishing?" And I said, "Sure." And at first, I kind of blew him off because I was kind of seeing somebody still, but that didn't last, thank God. So I got back a hold of him once things were through with that other person, and me and him went fishing. We started talking and connected about a lot of things and had a lot of things in common and stuff like that. And so we decided to go further in our relationship and make it be an actual boyfriend and girlfriend relationship and not just dating and see each other and the whole lust thing that you kind of go through when you're meeting someone and you start being intimate with them and stuff like that. It got to a new level. So then time went on, and we figured that we have a lot more in common than we thought. We both liked to fish. We both liked the same type of movies and TV shows, and we laughed about the same thing. We had the same sense of humor. That's for sure. We find the same things funny, which is awesome because I love someone who has a sense of humor. And so we decided to further our boyfriend and girlfriend relationship and become engaged. So, I asked him to marry me. It's not like the average story. I asked him to marry me instead of him asking me to marry him, and he said yes. And later, he proposed to me too on Valentine's Day and asked me to marry him, and I said yes. And time went on, and the love just got stronger. And so we decided to further the relationship even more, and we got married. And we ended up having a baby, and I already have 3 kids, but we ended up deciding to have a baby together, and that was the story. So, and it's continuing to be good. I mean, of course, we have our ups and downs like every other relationship, but that's how we know it's true love, because everything that we've been through that I talk about in my previous videos, Jason and I have stood by each other. So, in case you've just following me today, we've stood by each other through losing a baby. We've stood by each other through me beating cancer, having surgery to get my thyroid taken out and beating cancer. I'm still fighting cancer, because it's an everyday battle. It's not they cut the cancer out and then it's good. Um, no, you still have lots of little things that you have to do to keep cancer away and keep fighting. So we've been by each other's side through that. We've been each other's side through a pandemic, through a derecho here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, through it all. I mean, sickness and health, thick and thin, all of it. So, I mean, we've been through a lot. I know a lot of married couples, or boyfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, or girl and girlfriend, have gone through a lot of stuff. But there's some things we've been through that aren't really common for a lot of people to go through, and so we're pretty strong. But there's a huge difference because I thought that I loved the guy prior to me being with my husband Jason, and it wasn't. Not all the guys before Jason were not love. It was totally lust because I was just infatuated with how they looked and talked, and the jokes they cracked, and the color of their eyes and the things they were wearing. I used to be kind of shallow like that. I used to like the things that people would wear, and they had to look good and smell good and all that. And the smelling good part, I mean, I hope everybody has good hygiene, but I mean, you guys know what I mean. There's certain kind of colognes that somebody would wear, and perfumes and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've learned the difference between lust and love, but some people who are still, trying to figure it out. That's why I thought I would make the video, because you'll know who the right one is, because they'll always answer your phone calls majority of the time, and texts and stuff like that. They'll want to know how you're doing. They'll talk with you. They won't give signs that they're, tired of you, or don't feel like talking to you, or spending time with you. They won't act like that. They'll want to spend time with you. They'll be missing you, and you'll always have something to talk about and laugh about, and you won't have to worry so much, about that person leaving. I'm not saying that you don't have to worry at all, because you should always care, and think about the possibilities if somebody's going to leave or not, because if you're just totally 100% comfortable, then I mean, you're not thinking about everything at all, because it's okay to get comfortable, but it's not okay to get too comfortable. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where you felt like somebody was getting too comfortable, so they were crossing boundaries and they were starting to disrespect you. There's a difference between, it's okay to be comfortable, and somebody being so comfortable that they're crossing the line and they're starting to disrespect you. So there's differences and stuff, but you'll know. And I thought I would make this video today for the ones out there that are still looking for the true love, and trying to find answers and stuff. So I will be on with another life topic. Thank you.